I'm in the second week of the People Going Places project. Not sure what I'm going to call this. This is a remake of our 2008 demo, but come up with a few different names. All that aside, whatever. It's the People Going Places project for now. I have to switch out my recording interfaces because my UX8, trusty UX8, instrument inputs are not working very well. Mic inputs are fine, but instrument inputs are giving me, it's almost like it's a noise gate on the guitars, which is not good. It could just be dirty. I don't want to open it up to clean it because I'm lazy. Also, because I have my old UX2, which is even older than the UX8, and I told myself this is the last project I'm going to do with Line 6 products. Because I've had this since 2005, 6, something like that. It's 2022, so it's well overdue for me to switch to something else. Two confessions I need to make. Number one, I'm still stuffy, so I can't do any vocals. Second week of the project, and I'd like to do vocals so I can get past this initial song. The other thing I'd like to admit is that as a young artist, I had no idea what to classify myself when it comes to genre. If you're a punk band or a hip-hop whatever, you're gonna dress like the scene dresses, you're gonna sound like the scene sounds like, you're gonna do things that they do. I had an extremely eclectic musical background inspiration. From one second I'd listen to Jimi Hendrix, the next second I'd listen to Mozart's Mass in C minor. Or I'd listen to the Beatles and to Radiohead and then move on to listen to Miles Davis and Olivier Messiaen or Krzysztof Penderecki. I've always embraced a wide array of music, except country. Sorry, I really just don't like country. When it came time for me to define what my music is, I used the cardinal sin, and I used other. If you don't want to ever get discovered, use other as your genre, and you will stay obscure. I'm trying to define what the hell my genre is. So my plan, because I've tried to do this over the years, and I've always failed miserably. My plan in 2022 is to write down bands that I like, and I'm gonna look for commonalities. Like I see a lot of alternative rock, I see a lot of art rock. Basically, I'm gonna take this list and write it out on my computer and see how many times alt rock or art rock, whatever comes up. And how that comes up is how I'm gonna try to define the music that I'm putting out. Because honestly, I don't know what to call it sometimes. I'm horrible when it comes to that stuff. How is this relevant to the project, the People Going Places project? Well, I'm gonna use these genres to help with promotion, target to specific audiences. So hopefully I will find you, the right audience. Alright, according to my intense analysis, the majority of my influences are art rock, alternative rock, and indie rock. We'll see what the hell I do with this. I have no idea. We'll figure it out. And by no means am I classically trained in any aspect of music creation, whether it's writing, playing, or in this case, mixing. But with each album, I tried to do a little bit something different, especially as it pertains to the mixing process. So this one, I picked an album that I like sonically, that I want this one to sound similar to from a equalization and panning standpoint. So I picked Radiohead's OK Computer. Stylistically and quality-wise, their album's way up here. This one's gonna be quite further down. But what I'm trying to compare is the sonic makeup of that album. So I analyzed their audio. I was looking at their EQ spectrums for various tracks, listened to the right channels, left channels on various tracks, just to see where the panning is on all their instruments, and just kind of get an overall feel for what it is, the makeup of that album, as far as what I can tell from a waveform. I mapped out the EQ spectrum as well as I could based off of isolating specific instruments like a kick or a snare or a guitar or a key, or whatever in various songs of theirs, and use it as a starting point for my EQ with this album. It's just a starting point because it's still totally different instruments that they have, totally different notes that they're playing, recording method, etc. So you still kind of, this is where they were at, this is where I am. You gotta kind of meet somewhere halfway in the middle there. I think I found my EQ spectrum for this album. I want to use the same drum kit, I'm using Easy Drummer as my drummer, so to speak. So I'm programming the beats, but I'm using their platform to create the drum. I don't have the means to record an actual drummer. So this is just more cost effective for me and available, etc. Blah blah blah. I'm going to use the same kit throughout the album, same instrumentation on the bass and guitars. I'll vary it as it needs from a stylistic standpoint, like more delay on this guitar, whatever on this bass, but on the whole I'll start with the same kind of formulas initially. That way it has a similar sound throughout the whole album. And what I need to do now is go in here and save all my EQ presets for each instrument, and I'll look to carry that over into the next mix. So just finished my initial rough mix of A Life, and I'm gonna take this template and look to apply it to Getting Strange and see how it works. It's gonna be interesting because A Life's a mid-tempo track, kind of slower. Getting Strange is very upbeat, energetic, so some of these formulas might not work out of the box, so to speak, but we'll try. I am here in the car because I just did a first mix and quasi-master of the song A Life. So I want to listen to it in the car. I've already listened to it on the home stereo. It sounds really good in there, but let's give it the car test, and then probably give it the earbud test later on, TV test. Try to listen to it on as many different applications as possible, so here goes the car test. I took some notes on what's too loud, what needs to be quieter, really just focusing on the driving characteristics of the track. So the lead vocal, the snare drum, the kick drum, and the bass guitar. Because everything else sounds pretty good, pretty even. I can hear what I want to hear as far as the overall instrument accompaniment, but it's just, yeah, I think it's a little too bassy on this mix. Kick is definitely too loud. I want that snare on top of the kick, so I gotta adjust that. But it sounds okay. Even when I referenced it with I was using Radiohead's No Surprises as a reference in here. It's close. That's where I want it to get. So yeah, we're getting there. So usually your first mix and master, it's not going to be really done. I mean, it'd be really a miracle if it were. So I'm going to go back and make some adjustments. I'll probably make my adjustments tonight, do a mix tonight, and just leave it alone, because I'm really tired of hearing this song right now. So it gets to a point where you stop hearing what you're actually trying to hear. So I'm close to that. Well, I'm at that point. I'm tired of hearing this song. I'll listen to it tomorrow with fresh ears.